When I walk through, when I walk through, when I walk through. Hi, everyone. So, as you know, we're going to get started pretty soon, about the 15-minute mark, just to give everybody an opportunity to come in. Thank you guys so much. I know that we're early. So, not the 6:15 mark, but the 4:15 mark. Actually, let me take that down and revamp it at the 15-minute mark. That's what it should be. When I walk through. Let's see. Make sure everybody can hear me. Yeah, we're on the shore. Got one person in the room. Hello, one person. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I know that it's very early for everybody. It's 5 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Hey, Joy. Hey, Jasmine. Or as Gina would say, Jasmine. Seven people in the room. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you can, if you like to, if you want to. Let me see what's happening over there on Facebook. Walk through. And put y'all on mute while I check. Yep, we on Facebook. We live on Facebook. Hey, Facebook. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay. 13 people in the room. Hey, just my 2 cents. Hey. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm surprised I have 14 people in the room. Honestly, 4 p.m. is pretty early, but I had to do it. Let me tell you what happened. So, as you know, your girl is out here trying to like get all the work in the world. And so a friend of mine was like, hey, you should bartend at this festival that's happening in later this month. And I was like, cool. Reach out to the person, get in connection with the person. The person is like, oh, we have a bartending training on X date, which was today, right? He tells me the 9th or the 8th. And I set it up, reach out to him last Friday. Hey, I didn't receive an email. Just want to confirm that we're still doing the training on Monday at 9/8 at 6 p.m. He says, yes. So I go on ahead and schedule this for 4 p.m. So your girl has enough time afterwards to skedaddle on over to the suburbs and take this training. And then today I'm laying after I get off work and I'm like, okay, I gotta getting ready for this live. Yeah. So we do that. And I get an email that's like confirmation training is tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm like, I'm sorry, can you confirm tomorrow or today? Monday or Tuesday, the 8th or the 9th? And then I took a screenshot of our text message conversations, highlighted where he told me the 8th, and sent it back to him and was like, can you confirm? And so he confirmed that he gave me the wrong information. And so instead of me doing this today at 6 p.m. or tomorrow at 6 p.m., I'm doing it today at 4 p.m. to try so that I could go to the training at 6 p.m. That's no longer happening. So I guess the good news is that I can watch Toe in peace tonight. I can watch 90 Day Fiance UK tonight, and should be all good. And then tomorrow, though, your girl has to record 90 Day Fiance UK with Shay at 3:30, go to the suburbs for this training, come back and go live to talk about toe at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. CST is 6 p.m. PST, which works for the PST people, but it doesn't work for our East Coast baddies. And I know the majority of us, at least from now that I live in the Central, are in the Central and on the East. I mean, I do have the PST crowd, but PST is always kind of used to just like seeing things later because they're the last in the country to see anything. So anyways, my day went from having 2 things to do after work on Monday and Tuesday to 1 thing and 3 things. So awesome. Oh, so happy to see you today. I needed my WA fix. I have a whole schedule for the weekend. This is part of it. Again, I'm so excited. Oh, thanks, Jasmine. Thanks, Jasmine. Shoot, I wanted to be a bartender so bad. Yeah, I know. You're not never too old to be a bartender. I don't even think I'll really be tending bar. I think I'll just be opening drinks. Oh, you're welcome. So anyways, you're never too old to start anything. I'm starting drag and my whole back hurts. I couldn't even stand or sit at work today because my sciatica was acting up, and I got to do some more gig work so that I can pay for this chiropractor. Going live on here is considered gig work for me. So you'll be seeing your girl. You will be seeing your girl on here, and I'll be checking out for the latest docu-series and different things like that so that I can go live and chit chat with you guys. But for sure, we're doing Love After Lockup as well as 90 Day Fiancé the other way. If anything interesting starts up in this latter part of Q4 of the year, then we'll pick that up as well. Because I think I could reasonably recap 3 shows a week on my YouTube channel without it being too hectic in my life. I am watching some shows on television, but I'm somebody who doesn't like to watch shows week by week. So here's my tentative schedule for my show watching. I'm watching Alien Earth because I'm a huge fan of the Alien franchise, even when they introduced Predator. But I love me some Ripley. Okay, I will fight you for Sigourney Weaver. I didn't know what I was watching in the 80s when I was first watching it, because the first show came out in 1979, and then the next one came out like 5 years later, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. I think it came out like 83. It's like they took a long time between 1 and 2, but then 2 and 3 and 4 were all real close together. And 4 with Winona Ryder, but those first 2, pretty solid. Now, then they added like Requiem. No, they added one in between. So some of them are new, some of them are old, and so like I just be in the full like, Giselle, hey girl, hey, I ain't seen you in a minute. So yeah, I just be watching all this stuff, and now they have Alien Earth. I'm in it. But I don't like to watch episodes. I need to watch like 2 or 3 episodes in a row. So sometimes I'll skip weeks. Like I'll skip it for 3 weeks and not watch it so that I can get my fix of like the 3 episodes in a row. The same thing with Star Trek Strange Worlds. The same thing with Blood of My Blood. So yeah, those are my 3 shows that I kind of skip every other week or every 2 weeks before watching them so that I can watch 2 episodes in a row and not have to wait so long for the next one. Oh yeah, Alien Earth is real good, girl. It's real good. I really do think I like anything that's Timothy Olyphant. And also I will say that FX loves anything Timothy Olyphant. FX has been working with Timothy Olyphant since he left Deadwood. FX loves them some Timothy Olyphant. So those are the things I'm watching. I also could watch Match Me Abroad, and just do like a season recap of Match Me Abroad. It would be a lot of information, but I could do that. So there's a lot of things content I can give you guys. I just need to know what y'all are watching. What are you watching? What do you want my opinion on? Don't be afraid to. How can I get you guys to communicate what you think I should watch? You could just email me, I guess. And if you're on the DocuSweeties Patreon, you can drop it in the community. I mean, should I Discord? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna create a Discord and never go to it. Like I just forget. Okay, I be playing my solitaire. I be scrolling on TikTok. I scroll on my IG, and I forget anything else. I'm glad that now there's Meta and Facebook and IG are connected, so now I can just do both at one time. Is Seeking Sister Wife coming back? Oh, yes, it is. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Seeking Sister Wife. Literally, do you guys remember the Epps family? Y'all remember Marcus Epps? Y'all remember the Epps? Here, let me show you who they are. If you don't remember them, they lost the girl India. But I want to have them on. I want to see if Marcus or it's not Tanisha, it's not Tanya. It is what's my friend's name? What's her name? They used to be sis, he, and me, and now she's gone. Marcus and me over the years. What's her name? What's your name? What's your name? This is a T. Anyone know what it is? Okay, no, you don't. Let me see. Is there a good picture of them? They just do a lot of reels, so it's hard. Oh, here's a good one. You remember them, right? Marcus Epps and girl, her name starts with a T. What's mama's name? Taryn. Thank you so much, Iselle. Yes, Taryn. And so I was like gonna reach out to them and be like, hey, I can't pay you, but do you want to be on the channel for 30 minutes and see if they'll agree to do so? So that's my master plan with them. I sure did write. Let me make sure I wrote down in here when the show comes back. I put Lalu. It comes back. Where did I write it? I wrote it down somewhere in my journal that it was coming back, and I thought I put it in my calendar. 17 people in the room. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. What happened to the couple that made the woman go on a cleanse? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember them. The original Sister Wives is coming back too, but it already looks like a dud. Oh, I don't watch that. Chris is going to be doing it though. Chris will be doing Sister Wives. I'm doing Seeking Sister Wife. I'm doing Seeking Sister Wife. Chris is doing Sister Wives. So if you would like to watch them, you can do that. Oh yeah, the Snowdens. Mm-hmm. Ashley, Dimitri, and a revolving third. Watch Married at First. Okay, you're right. Yep, you're right. You're right. Married at First Sight. You right. You right. You right. You right. Let's see. I need to write that down because I will surely forget. "90-Day Toe, Married at First Sight, Seeking Sister Wife." Lalu, where are we at? 13 minutes. Okay. Lalu. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Match Me Abroad is boring to me now. Oh my God, Dimitri and Ashley are back together. They were toxic. They were terrible. Thank you. They were terrible. Oh, Nick Davis. Yeah. No, he's back. They're coming back. The Davises are coming back. So, yeah, I'm excited for Seeking Sister Wife. I actually enjoyed it. Seeking Brother Husband or whatever was dumb. They didn't give good examples of it. I don't think it was like a positive. Like I don't think it was good. Seeking Sister Wife was a lot more interesting, and I also missed Polly as well. And I didn't do the Plaths, So I'm thinking of all the things that my peers did. So like Amy Archer did the Plaths, and so did I think Mary Payne. I think the reality gays did it, but only in their Patreon, the Plathvilles, which I just couldn't get back into them. Plathville requires me to have somebody to talk back and forth with. There are certain shows that I could just gab all day about, and it's fine. Elaine, girl, I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. How you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute. And it's my fault. It's my fault. But some of them I need people to talk with me about. You know what I mean? Like I would need somebody to talk Plathville. And I have some friends that I'm going to be asking. I actually want to ask Sass Scales. I just DM'd her to see if she'd be willing to do some stuff with me this quarter. And then I also have my good Judy from across the pond. She's no longer across the pond. She lives here now. Which is, why is her name escaping me? I remember her ex-husband's name. It's not Aaron, is it? I don't know. But she does she does a podcast called I Know It's Time to Go. She does a podcast called All AG No Guilt. All Pleasure No Guilt. Yeah. We're going to do some collabs together. Girl, she didn't put her name nowhere. Oh, Lordy Lord. I feel terrible. I'm not forgetting anybody's name. I'm gonna tell her I forgot. Michelle. Whoo! Girl, why can't I get it together? So Michelle from All Pleasure No Guilt podcast. She used to do it with her ex-husband across the pond, and then she was doing with a friend here in LA, and now she's going solo. So we're gonna do some stuff together. So yeah, waiting for Sass to respond and see if she'll watch some 90 Day Nonsense or maybe some Seeking Sister Wife situation. Here, let me just tell her again. Or Seeking Sister Wives. Wife. Great. Okay. We'll start at 17:30. Yes, that's them. 23 people in the room, 13 likes. Let's get them up, y'all. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get ready to a rumble. I missed the mark already. Hold on. Stop distracting me. Okay, social media, this. All right. We'll do it at 18. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 16. We are in a bad situation. And of course, that was said by our fearless leader, Keith. I guess we can start with Keith. So this episode was good in the fact that they finally gave us some information, child, about what the heck what's his face was up to, because this whole time they've been playing coy with Mr. JK. They have took out that JK and Brooke segment for so long that I'm just like, girl, if y'all don't tell us what's going on, this is about to be real annoying. Okay, so Letitia and Keith. Here they are. Where's their dual picture? There they are. Letitia and Keith. Okay, so we start out with them, and of course, you know, he's like, I got 11 years backed up of sperm to give you. And I'm like, no, you don't. Who's been doing your hair? So she, though, they've been having so much sex that she needs a break. She's like, whoa. Okay, even with the lubrication, she's tired. Mama is tired. Okay, Mama needs to relax. Mama is 38. Okay, Mama can't do it the way she used to do it. But she still wants to know who's talking to her man. She still wants to know who's talking to her man. who Stephanie is. Some named Stephanie. Who's talking to her man? That's what she still wants to know. And so she says she's used to trying to get her man. She's used to them trying to get her man. But now that she's out and he's out, they're both out together, she's not going to allow it to happen. Okay? So then her daughters come home, and the youngest one, who doesn't understand, or the whole bio dad situation, runs up and hugs that man, and he does not know how to interact with children. Have you noticed that? Even with his own child, he's like, man, what's up? I'm like, that is not a man, that is a child. These are all children here. And he's very much like, yeah, what's up? How y'all doing? You doing good? I can see why. He's been in prison for 11 years. There is no, and he didn't have those children prior to going to prison. We find out in this episode that he was in them streets shooting up the club raw dog. Raw. Has he had STD checks? He's got 3 children by 3 different baby mamas, 2 of them born in the same week. Okay, Damari and another little person, another 15-year-old, are born in the same week. And then there's a little girl that is was born 6 months after he went into prison. So this man was over here just literally shooting at the club, doing whatever he wanted to do, and then got locked up and left them babies out in the cold with their mothers to take care of them. Just left them out. Left them out. I don't know what that signifies. Something's happening with my washer and dryer. So I was just like, wow, he's left literal DNA in his wake. And they're currently trying to get Damari, back with him, but Damari is in a good spot right now. I actually thought Damari was actually in foster care. It turns out he's not in foster care. He is actually with his grandfather, which is Keith's father. And so he's like, that's my responsibility. I want my kid to be with me. So we're really going to try to get our son back. And so little girl runs up to him. Natalie is, or not, I don't know. I'm sure her name is not Natalie. I'm sure that her name is not Natalie, but I was like, I don't know what that child's name is. It is Letitia's oldest daughter. And the whole time I'm like, whose damn white baby is this? Letitia's oldest daughter. I was like, what is she mixed with? Is she Latina? Or is she just half black, half white? Because every time I see her, she looks less and less black. And I don't know if it's because her hair is different or she's just growing up and she's doing her style differently. But every time I see Letitia's oldest daughter, I'm like, whose damn white baby is this? She's beautiful, but I was like, yeah, she's definitely got some biracial situations going on. Hold on, let me upload some of these pictures that I took that I forgot to upload in my yapping. Yip, yip, yippity, yap, yap. She is just not, truly just not interested in the whole situation. And Letitia wants her to be so excited about this. And she's just not. She's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give you what you want because I'm a teenager and I'm allowed to be moody. And I said, here, no more power to you. So this daughter, she gives him just a little sad little hug. You know what I mean? She doesn't even really put her arms out. And I'm like, fair. So Letitia's forcing a family night. So they go out to do bowling. Damari's there. I don't know if he has a car. He gets dropped off, but he hops up out of a car and pulls up. And his father again is coming at him like he's another grown man. And I'm like, first, step 1, don't treat your 15-year-old son who you didn't do anything to raise like another grown-ass man. Can you just let the boy be a boy? And it made me uncomfortable. Now I know Keith doesn't know what to do. And so really the truth is I should not be judging him, but it just made me uncomfortable. Keith's interaction with all of the children make me uncomfortable because I don't think that he has the skill set in which to be a parent. And also he was never a parent prior to prison. And he's now dealing with children that are in a different stage of life. And I just wish that he were a little bit more paternal in a way. It felt like he was trying to dap up his son like he's a grown man. And I was like, no, you're not dealing with another grown man. And I think that's one of the issues I think that we face in the Black community is that we don't allow Black boys to be boys for as long as they can possibly be. There's a certain age they hit and all of a sudden I mean, I know biologically there's a lot going on in their own body, but I think that we expect Black boys to be more mature and be the man of the house, especially when they're living with a single mother or something. And I think that's indicative of single mothers who do that, because there are single moms out there who, as soon as their sons get to like working age, want them to be working so that they can help them with the bills. And like, I understand why practically, but I think there's a disservice that we do within our community by not letting boys, and not in the disgusting rapey way, but like not letting boys be boys, not letting them stay young and be young. And I know it's harder for Black boys, and they have to grow up a little bit faster than everybody else. Like, I know that, but I think there should still be a safe space in the home. And I feel like Keith doesn't exude that, at least now. And so it makes me feel weird that that we're watching him in his early stages of him trying to be a parent, because I can't help but judge him. And I can't help but judge Letitia for allowing it. Because she seems, even though like some of her actions and allowing her daughter to like not know what a bio dad is on TV, she does seem like a decent parent. Like her interactions with her daughters when she's explaining to them why Damari needs to live with them, it is very good. I think that it was a good explanation. So they get to the bowling alley. There's a lot of like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. No, I'm gonna beat you. Ha 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 kind of situation. And, Keith is trying to talk to her eldest, and she don't care. She don't care one bit. He's like, what you like to do? And she like, sleep. She said sleep, but he's just looking at her like, okay, he's doing his best. And then he looks over to his son and he's like, so yeah, man, what's up with that little girl? That girl you was talking to. And then I was like, like, like I feel like we shouldn't encourage any of our kids to be in these little relationships in high school. They just be wasting each other's time. Unless we're gonna socialize the women the girls to understand these boys ain't shit and ain't gonna give them nothing but disease and heartbreak and maybe a child. Then like yes, you should test out the waters and see what it's like. But a lot of times we put grown-up things on them, or grown-up situations happen to them because we don't want to put our girls on birth control, or we don't want to talk to them about you don't want to talk to the boys about condoms and protected sex, and like, you know what I mean? Like there's a gap in I think some parents talking to their children who are of sex age about sex and really making them understand that, rolling around and flour, who don't really have these conversations with their kids. I know it didn't happen to me. And thank God I wasn't having sex. So like, yeah, I just think that we just, we got to be careful with how we sexualize and push our children out there. Yes, healthy, good relationships, yes, but also having those really candid conversations with them about what it means to have sex and have this little boyfriend or have this little girlfriend. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So he says that to the son, and then Letitia takes her children off to go do, the claw. So they go do the claw, and she has to explain to the girls why Damari is moving into her house. I hope they have a conversation with Damari and her oldest. They're both going through it. They both got hormones moving, and they're not biologically related at all. And y'all gonna have them in the same house. I hope we have the conversation. I hope we have the conversation. And the conversation Letitia ends up having with her daughters is that Damari, she's like, you never know what people are going through in their home. And he was in a not so great situation. And so right now he's fine, but me and Keith are trying to get him into our home. And so, just wanted to let you know that that's what's going on. And so we need to make a space for him and make a home for him. And I understand the sentiment. I just feel for the daughters who have to open up their home to two males when this entire time it's just been the three of them. That's a very big change. It's a very big change. So I just really hope that conversations are had, adults are being candid, and they're also trying to start a family of their own, or not their own, I shouldn't say, they already have a family, but Letitia and Keith are also trying to have a kid. It's a lot happening all at one time. It's a lot happening all at one time. It's a huge explosion of a family. And I hope that everybody comes out of it unscathed. They won't, but I really do hope. So Dumari is really excited for his dad to come to his football games. And we find out that they have to go to court later on that week. And so they end up going to court, and he's really nervous because and she kind of picks up on that too. She's like, "Are you nervous about going into court? Last time you were in court, they took you away, blah, 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 blah." And he's just like, "No, I'm cool. I'm cool." So then they go to court and the shit gets canceled, which this is our court system, or our judicial system, really can be quite flawed sometimes, especially when, you're dealing with people who are really trying to fight for their children, but for them to delay it like it means nothing. I don't know if it's a stalling tactic because they don't want to tell, Keith no right away. Like maybe it's a way of getting him to be more rehabilitated or be out of prison longer. But they are basically like, it's canceled for today or it's delayed for today. Come back on this day and we'll see what we can do. And they could end up coming back 3 and 4 times to the court before the court finally grants them what they want to, or what they want, which is to get custody of Dumari. But at the time, currently, Dumari is with his grandfather, so he's not in a bad situation. So Keith does have access to his child, as well as can help raise his child. I don't know how far away the dad lives, and that'd be the only caveat. But if Dumari believes that his father can come to his football games, then maybe they live in the same city. So I hope the best for them, and I hope that everything works out. But I also am worried about them making choices and moving really fast. But you can't tell grown people what to do, because grown people think they know. Because I'm grown and I think I know. So let's move on to Justine and Michael. And the reason why I want to talk about them is because there's something that happened in this episode that pissed me off. And it's always going to piss me off when I feel like the onus is put on the child to make amends with the mother. And I don't think that's the way it should be. So we move on to Justine and Michael going to New York City. Justine is with her girls and she goes dress shopping. And they don't go to a bridal shop. They go to just a prom / gown / fancy event shop in Vegas. So this is how I feel like I was like, oh, this isn't real. This isn't the real thing. They're just doing something to film it right now to kind of keep the storyline going. But she takes Kylie and Melody and they go to try on dresses, and we get a little backstory about Justine and how she's had a hard time with her mother, that she was in dance and her mother would make comments about her weight and different things like that. And as we know, Justine had Kylie relatively early in life. And it feels like, from what I gleaned at least, that since then, Justine's mother has been slightly disappointed in Justine and has never let Justine not know that. And you never know what the inside of someone's home is. The only thing I can think of is Justine's an only child. I don't know that to be true, but that's what it feels like. With a mother who had a child and realized she didn't want no more. So she put everything into that one child, whether or not she was the best, sweetest, loving, open mother or not, which seems like she wasn't. She did try to put Justine in dance. And I can only imagine that she's probably a crazy ass dance mom. Like, I can only imagine that she's probably really intense. And she probably said a lot of things to Justine that she shouldn't have. Who knows if Justine's father is in her life, but maybe she met some little boy, and her mother, of course, being the mother she was, didn't have good and deep conversations with Justine, because while she can pay for things and she can make sure you're going to dance class, she's not going to have a good conversation with you about why you should not let a man put his pee-pee in you without a condom. So Justine gets pregnant, and she's severely disappointed in Christine and proceeds to treat Christine poorly throughout the remainder of their life because of that disappointment. Now we find out also that, and I think maybe I knew this, I just forgot that Justine was actually married to Santana and Bentley's dad for 10 years, even though she knew it was a terrible idea to get married to this man, that she did get married to him. It could be symptoms of her own childhood where she felt like she just needed to push through and have a father for her kids. She married him, was in a loveless, terrible marriage for 10 years. And so that's why being with Mike is so different than any other person that she's been with, and I love that for her, but her mother still hasn't come on board. And Michael tends to throw it in her face that she doesn't have a relationship with her mother. And I don't know why. And I think it's really hard for people who had good mothers or loving mothers. I don't want to say good because that's too much of a judgment, but if you had a mother who loved you out loud, it's really difficult for you to understand when people don't have mothers who didn't love them out loud. And that's something that I faced my entire life. Is people telling me that I was wrong for feeling the way I felt. And it's not fair to the child who got brought into a situation with a person who isn't ready, didn't know they weren't, didn't know what parenthood would be like, didn't, it's really difficult for that. And Maria, who is Michael's mother, is like, you need to call your mom. And she's 37 years old and she's still longing for a relationship with her mother, which to me, okay, girl. Like if you haven't if you haven't been able to shed that your mother's not going to be the person that you want her to be and just accept her for who she is. And you're going to get hurt every time you try to pull her into a situation that she's not going to be amiable, because what she does is while shopping for dresses, she actually calls her mother, or afterwards calls her mother and is like, hey, we're going to look at venues in New York City next weekend. Can you come? And knowing her mom lives in Massachusetts. And she's like, the mom's like, yeah, nah, you can't just be telling me stuff like last minute. You can't just be telling me stuff last minute. And so it looks like her mother's not going to come. I feel like she might because it's the show. But yeah, I can see her not coming. And for Justine to long for that relationship still at this big age means that she needs to do the work to kind of let that go, because she's going to continuously hurt herself. I heard a rumor from a YouTuber that Justine's mom's name is on the mortgage for their house, not Michael. No idea if that's true, but it could be checked in court. Oh, I'm not checking all that, but that's crazy to find out. And I saw that Nicole says, isn't mom on that house they live in? Oh. Her mom continues to bail her out and she acts ungrateful, in my opinion. I mean, I think that's a fair call out. I think she needs to accept her mother for who she is and where she's at if she really wants the relationships that she wants. Like I said, there are some people who become parents who are their unconditional love looks different. And maybe it is providing financial support, but not emotional support. And I think Justine would need to recognize that she doesn't have a parent who's going to continuously high five her when that parent is having to bail her out. Like, those two things don't equate, because I could fully see myself having a child and being severely disappointed in everything that they do and not wanting to hee ha ha with them, not wanting to kiki with them. But if they need me, and I had the money, just let me know. But I can't emotionally be involved with you, because emotionally you're hurting me and I'm hurting you, but you're also hurting me because I just need you to act right. And so that's why I'm like, maybe it's a good idea I didn't have kids, because I understand that. So I don't know. It obsesses me because my son is big for his age and I want him to enjoy. Okay, they're talking about a different thing. So yeah, I just don't like the fact that Mike throws in her face she doesn't have the kind of relationship with her mother that she wants, and that Maria's telling her she needs to reach out to her mom. Justine doesn't have to reach out to her mom. She knows her mom's going to hurt her feelings, so just don't reach out. That's the way I think about it. And I really feel sorry for her that she still wants this relationship. She wants her mother to miraculously change and be somebody she's not, but she cannot be that person. So They just need to accept each other for who they are. Okay. So, next couple we have, and this is finally over, but I think it's going to be disastrous for Daniel because of the way it ended, is Daniel and Bianca. So, in this situation, Daniel is angry. He's super angry. So this is right after he jumps out of the car and she's like, he's being psycho. So at this point, Bianca does seemingly have the upper hand as far as like him behaving poorly. And she finally realizes that she has all the money and all of the opportunity, and so she could just leave him where he is. Um and so he feels like, you know what, if we're gonna break up, then you should go, because I don't want to be with you anymore. But also, I'm a felon and I can't get an apartment on my own. So you should leave the apartment to me. And I said to myself, Daniel, if you wanted her to leave the apartment to you, you should have been nicer to her in the breakup. Like, tactic wise, you being mean to her when you've been frustrated with her, you've been annoyed with her, you should have told her in the beginning. But I understand that it's hard to let things go, especially if you think you can make it work, and then it finally gets to a boiling point and then you can't make it work. And so it boils over and you say some things that you shouldn't say. And this was him doing it and being drunk. So for her, she's like, oh, I got the upper hand with this situation. And that makes me sad for him in his situation, because I do think that he messed up, because she could be super petty, especially if she's like gonna leave. She can take herself off the lease. And then where is he gonna be? She's like, he should. I wouldn't. If someone cussed me out and talked to me the way that he talked to Bianca, and then asks me or expects me to be the one to move out and leave my name on the lease. Oh no, something is making my nose itchy. Oh no. No. No, 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 no. I mean, listen, even if you didn't cuss me out, I'm not gonna leave a lease with a felon, a drug addict who's now relapsed. Oh no. Exactly. I tell him exactly, Petty LaBelle, stay with that friends you was drinking with. Stay with them friends you was drinking with. Because unfortunately, I can't do it. I really feel like he just needed funding and there's no way I would leave it in my name. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I'm gonna mess up my credit, I'm gonna mess it up with my name. Someone else is not gonna mess up my credit. I will never understand a woman who is so. I will never understand it. I had a family member who did that, who moved in with some man, then things didn't go right and they were fighting, and they what? No. Mm-mm. I'm never gonna put myself in a situation like that. It just woo. Girl, him making that taking out the trash comment made, yeah. He said, yeah, it was like taking out the trash and she did it for me, meaning that she left. Cuz he's like, "Oh, he didn't want to break up with her. He wanted her to break up with him, so he decides that he's going to act poorly in order to get her to do that, so it was all on her." And that is so, like, when he did that, I was like, "Oh, you are very juvenile." Okay. Juvenile. Uh, juvenile. Juvenile. What does it matter who breaks up with who? Like, I mean, I genuinely want to know. I've never been in that situation. So, like, can someone tell me, like, what does it matter? Why is it that you don't want to break up with somebody? Because, like, who's gonna? I mean, like, are you guys on stage? Is this a play? Are people watching and gonna judge you for breaking up with somebody? He's unhappy. Why is it that you want them to break up with you? And a lot of guys do that. That's one of the things I saw on TikTok, is that when a man is done with a relationship, instead of just breaking up with a woman, especially if they live together, he will do things to cause her to break up with him, and then call her crazy and say that she's being crazy. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. You are weird. And it doesn't make any sense. Just go ahead and break up with her and move on about your day. Now, if you have kids, it's a different story. But if you don't have kids, what's the point? So, she's like, I deserve better. And it's like, you do. You also deserve somebody who's around your age and who's just as silly as you. Trying to get a baby off a felon who's an addict. Okay. I mean, somebody would have to be clean for like 10 years. They would have to be clean for 10 years for me to do that. Clean for 10 years with me for another 10 years, having not relapsed. And then we could talk about, maybe having a child. Because having a child only adds more stress. And you want that person to be in a relationship with you? That's crazy. I would talk to the landlord and see if you could get it figured out in 6 months, which would give him time. Yeah. But she's not going to do that. She's a child. She's a bebe. She's a bebe. Okay. Next couple that we're going to talk about is Will and Courtney. Oh my God. This is another one of them just hollering outside in the street in the rain, just hollering at each other. And he's just yelling. And I was like, Will, why do you think that this makes good TV? So it started off with her being like, Mark is my friend who gives me money. He's not the guy who gave me a fake ring. And so then we have a confessional of them sitting next to each other. And, he tells her that he never thought that it would end this way and that he actually did, love her and didn't want to break up. But, he felt like she didn't honor that. And he's like drinking wine. Look at him looking desperate and sad while drinking the wine. And he's like, I don't need papers. It's my money. I know I spent $10,000. And she's just like, if you're going to lie about this, like, what else are you going to lie about? And she yells at him and she's like, you never praise me for anything that I do right. And he's like, well, you need to sign this paper or else I'm going to have the courts compel you to. I said, you never praise me for all the things that I do right. That sounds like a parent-child situation. That sounds like something that sounds like something that I would have said to my parent when I was younger. It's like, I've been really trying to do all the things that you say I'm supposed to do and you haven't noticed. And then they're like, well, you should have been doing it to begin with, so it doesn't matter that you're doing it now. That was my situation. So like, you don't get any praise because you're doing the thing that you're quote unquote supposed to do, which is so dumb. Give the kid the praise. But this is not your kid. So like, exactly. What has she done right? Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, Courtney. You woke up today and went to work. So proud of you. Oh my God, Courtney, I'm so proud of you that you regulated your system and made yourself some breakfast this morning. I'm so proud of you. Like, what? So, I must be allergic to something. It's just the top of my nose right here that's itching me. Okay, I'm not gonna touch it. See what happens. So yeah, they're just yelling, and I'm just like, this is so ghetto. So then Will gets in the car and he like begins to cry, and we're all like, why is this man crying? And then he tells us, I have been doing my best to keep my mother sane while we watch my father die. And I think to myself, does Courtney know that your father has Alzheimer's and cancer and is dying of both? If she knows that, and she went and relapsed herself and kind of fucked things up so that messed things up so that he has to now come to, like, if the whole plan was for her to come, if the whole plan was for her to come there and eventually not help, but eventually like be supportive of that, and she can't and hasn't been able to do so and won't sign these papers. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. He doesn't have time to babysit her. And that's on him though, because he shouldn't have gone with somebody who's going to need babysitting. And why he didn't know she was going to need babysitting is real crazy to me. He should have been known she was going to need some babysitting because she a bebe. So she's like a newborn calf. She doesn't know how to behave. She doesn't know how to like manage herself in the real world. She says that this was the first non-toxic relationship she's been in. And I'm like, it feels and sounds pretty toxic to me. So that's weird that you would say that. So she laughs at him during that confessional. And then he's like, I don't think it's funny. And she's like, I just laugh when I'm awkward. I was like, that's not a good excuse. Like, you're not an adult and he can't be with you. He says that he's afraid to go on without her. And he says that they had wild chemistry. And even while he's yelling at her, he just wanted to kiss her. He wanted to kiss this face. I said, well, yeah, something is making me. Okay. So next we've got Kiana, Demadric, and Joella. Girl, I feels like Kiana's starting to wake up in this episode. It really feels like. She starts off, Joella starts off this episode being like, you want to come and you want to play with my feelings and then come give me this money. And he says that he doesn't care about her feelings. That's what Demadric says to Joella, which is so mean. He says that he doesn't care about her feelings and that he's not supporting her. And so she leaves the party frustrated. She ends the party early, because his stepmother is yelling at her too. Like everybody's yelling at her. And no one is kind of seeing it from her perspective. Now, is she a fool for having this man's 3 kids? Yes. Is she a fool for expecting anything for him when he comes out of prison? Yes. But he's been feeding her shit or lies on the side real slowly and slyly. And so now she's fed up with it. And so he then leaves the party and he's like, oh, I'm mad at her because we can't have the party and she's cut it early. I'm like, y'all did this. What? All of y'all yelling at her wasn't going to make the party go to its end, its natural end. It's just weird that everyone just expects her to like, I don't know, just like, she's the one who's taking care of 3 kids by herself. Has Demadric's family been helping her while he's been in prison? I hope so. But like, she's been doing it by herself. And so she threw this party and she would like to not have Kiana there who's being rude to her. And nobody can accept that. And then they come there and none of her peoples are there. I'm like, where's your mother? Where's your sisters or your cousins? Why aren't your peoples there to support you with this baby birthday party? And then he gonna be there acting crazy, talking about drop the charges. Like, she's like, no, your girl did this. I'm not dropping any charges. You have caused this. And I could totally see it. I don't fault her none at all for it. I do not fault her at all. And so it's just like really sad and frustrating to kind of like witness. So she ends up off in her Lincoln Continental, whatever kind of car that is. And the next scene is Demadric washing the family car. I guess he don't got that Mustang no more. So he's washing the family car. And which I was like, ooh, with a mop? That makes sense. What a great idea. Well, they didn't make mop like that when I was younger, so that's why I wouldn't have been able to use it. But like, what a great idea now. So he's washing the car and he's reiterating what happened. And Kiana's like, well, why would she say all that? Have you been over there whispering sweet nothings in her ear, telling her stuff? And he's like, nah, man, I ain't been doing that. And so she's like, well, it seems like you are, because she wouldn't just make that up out of nowhere. And he's like, nah, man, so did you go be like this too? And so then he's getting defensive and he's like, whatever, whoop whoop. And the producers are like, well, why would she say that if it wasn't true? And he's like, because she still liked me. And I'm just like, God, it's only been 4 weeks. What do you mean she still likes you? Like, it's been 1.5 years and she's still holding on. I don't like the way he's treating her. I don't like the way he's treating her. So Kiana now doesn't know what to think. She don't know what to think. And I just said to myself, Kiana, you can't trust a man who's not going to take care of his children or his baby mama. Like, you can't trust it. And especially if he's been sleeping with her and you know that it's been happening. Like, get out of here. Hi, Heather. How are you? Welcome in. All right, you guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you had the hee hee ha ha's throughout any of this and you would like to give your girl a tip, you see the ways that you could do so scrolling around the bottom of the screen. Yay. So please go on ahead and do so if you would like to. All right. So the last couple that we're going to talk about is JK and Brooke. Oh, God. So Brooke calls him and yells at him, and he denies everything. This is right off of the fight with him and Alex. And then she shows up at the house, and his stepfather's out in the garage, and she walks up and she's like, "Where's that POS son of yours?" So then he goes inside and gets him and is like, JK, Brooke is here. And he's like, "What she want?" And I'm just like, oh my God. Why is this behavior okay? Why are we doing this, JK? Why do I have to watch you and do all this stuff? And like, oh my God. Why do we have to watch this? And so she's like, "It's your main B. It's your main B." And I'm like, oh my God. Really? Really, girl? That's how you introduce yourself? I'm the main B? Okay. It's your main B. Okay. Just am so like over it. You know what I mean? Just like so over it. And so somehow she gets led in the house, and we find out that she's not pregnant, and she begins to cry, and he comes in, and he is trying to hold her and comfort her and tell her that I'm gonna take care of you, I just need some help, basically putting it on her that she needs to kind of step up and be more of a parent, or I don't know, something for him. He says things like, "Help me help you," okay? What? Help me help you? That's crazy. So his mother is like, "Damn, JK, where did we fail you? Like, what did I do as a parent to cause this kind of behavior in you?" And it's just like this. Let me back up. So she gets into the house. She says, "I'm your main B," and she asks him, "What do you have going on?" And he's like, "I don't have anything going on. Just because I don't want to be with you and listen to you beach all day." I said it like that because I don't want to get demonetized. "I don't want to hear you all day." And then he says to the producer that there's no evidence that him and Alex are more than just friends. And I was like, what are you talking about? There is ample evidence that you guys might not be more than just friends, specifically because she's told everybody that she miscarried your baby. So then producers ask him if he's a good liar, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a good liar." And I'm like, "You're not a good liar. You're not a good liar. You're just an addict, and people want to believe what they want to believe. It's not that you are so good at lying." And so then the producer goes, "Are you lying now?" And he starts to laugh because when they ask him about if he had sex with Alex. So Brooke tells us that the reason why he got put into prison in the first place is because he was ODing, and he decided to get into a car while he was ODing. And because he got into that car, he got into a car accident, and that's why he went into prison. So she can't understand why he would want to exhibit behavior in the way that got him into prison in the first place. And I said, "Oh, Brooke, baby, you don't understand addiction." That's what's happening. We are watching someone who does not understand addiction. Even though they are surrounded by it, they do not understand addiction. She thinks that because he went to prison after ODing and all this stuff, that just because he says that he's ready for all this stuff, that he's just going to do it because he's learned his lesson. And I'm like, no, no. I don't know how old they are, but how old are they? Does it have their age? No, it doesn't, because I don't have a picture of them too. But like, it seems really, really silly that she would not understand, even though she's surrounded by addiction, that depending on when he first started using drugs, that is going to be very difficult for him to get off. Someone who starts using drugs when they're 16 in their formative years, I mean hard drugs, in their formative years when their brains are developing, have a very difficult time to get off drugs. And she does not get that. And that's why she continues to believe that he's going to be the person that he says he wants to be, as long as she has some kind of patience and helps him. No. She's like, I'm grateful that I'm not going to have another baby to raise by myself. And I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her. It's a whole messy situation. It really is. And that poor mom has to just deal with it and be there for her son. She thinks that if she had had his baby, then he would get his life together. And I said, you think it's because he's bored? Or you think he got enough things to do in life? You think a baby is going to make him get his life together? It is not. It's not. And that's the saddest thing. When she says all that, I just like, oh, girl, you have no idea. And that is why you continue to make poor choices with these sad ass men. And then he is over here in his confessional, and Alex calls him talking about, so what's up? And he's like, yeah, I got a lot going on right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing whatever, and I can't. And she's like, well, you know where I'm at. I'm always here. And he hangs up the phone and looks at the producer like, and I said, wow, he must feel so good that there are two women just clawing for his attention. He's like, in his mind, like, I can't keep him off of me. Oh my God. Why do they want this toothless man? This toothless ain't shit happen man. Why? She need to go and focus on the kids she already has. Absolutely. She need to go focus on the kids that she already has. It's crazy. All right, you guys. So that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much. So if at all you got the hee ha ha's through this and you'd like to give your girl a tip, there is those ways down below. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we are going to talk about the new season of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, which is premiering tonight on TLC. So watch it so that we can talk about it tomorrow. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day. Remember to be true, and find your place. Bye. Jumping in line. What? For any amount of money. Talk to you guys later. Jump in line.